The deeper we delve into the archives of time, the more we realize that our history is not a clear, linear path, but a labyrinth of unanswered questions, shadowed by enigmas that defy logic and understanding. Each solved mystery only seems to unveil new, more profound paradoxes, reminding us that humanity's journey is far more complex and awe-inspiring than we dare to imagine. If you've journeyed with us through the phantom ships, the screaming mummies, and the lost cities of the jungle, prepare for a new descent into the truly unknown. Today, we'll confront ancient technologies that shouldn't exist, civilizations that vanished without a trace, and celestial events that stretch the very fabric of our scientific comprehension. These are the whispers from the past, the chilling echoes that refuse to be silenced, compelling us to question everything. So, hold your breath, for the exploration into the most mind-bending unsolved mysteries continues now. And remember, incredible discoveries await those who like and subscribe before this video ends. The roar of the Minotaur, the Labyrinth of Knossos. On the sun-drenched island of Crete, steeped in myth and legend, lies the sprawling ruins of Knossos. This was the heart of the enigmatic Minoan civilization, Europe's first advanced culture. But beyond the vibrant frescoes and sophisticated plumbing, whispers of a monstrous secret persist. The Labyrinth, the mythical prison of the Minotaur, a beast with the head of a bull and the body of a man. Did this terrifying maze truly exist? And what secrets, both architectural and ritualistic, did the Minoans hide within its shadowy depths? The Minoan civilization flourished on Crete from roughly the years 2700 to the years 1450 BCE, long before the classical Greeks. They were a powerful maritime culture, known for their elaborate palaces, sophisticated art, and unique writing system, Linear A, which remains largely undeciphered. The site of Knossos was extensively excavated by British archaeologist Sir Arthur Evans starting in the years 1900. He uncovered a vast palace complex, sprawling over 20,000 square meters, with multiple stories, hundreds of rooms, staircases, light wells, and a complex drainage system. Its intricate layout, with numerous chambers and winding corridors, immediately brought to mind the ancient Greek myth of King Minos and his labyrinth. Evans, captivated by the myth, even restored parts of the palace, sometimes controversially, to reflect his interpretation of this legendary structure. The central enigma of the Labyrinth of Knossos is the blurred line between myth and archaeological reality. While no literal maze designed to hold a monster has been found, the sheer complexity and multi-level layout of the palace itself are astonishing. It was so intricate that a visitor unfamiliar with it could easily get lost. This architectural complexity is paradoxical for a society without detailed blueprints or advanced surveying tools as we understand them today. Furthermore, the Minoans, unlike their contemporary Egyptians or Mesopotamians, left no grand monumental temples or tombs dedicated to specific deities. Their religious practices seem to have revolved around nature, sacred groves, and possibly bull-leaping rituals, which adds to the mysterious function of the palace. Was the labyrinth a literal architectural puzzle, or a symbolic representation of a spiritual journey within the palace? The enigmatic ruins of Knossos have inspired a host of theories, each attempting to unravel the truth behind the legendary labyrinth and the secrets of the Minoan civilization. The most widely accepted scholarly consensus suggests that the sprawling palace itself was the very inspiration for the labyrinth myth. Its incredibly complex, multi-roomed structure, replete with narrow, winding corridors and shifting levels, would have undoubtedly been a disorienting experience for ancient visitors, perfectly embodying the essence of a maze. Intriguingly, the Greek word labyrinthos is thought to derive from labrys, the distinctive double-axe symbol that permeated Minoan iconography, suggesting the labyrinth might have simply referred to the house of the double axe, or simply the palace itself. Beyond its architectural complexity, compelling evidence of bull imagery, vibrant frescoes depicting daring bull leaping, and prominent bull horns integrated as architectural features permeates the entire palace, strongly supporting the idea of a significant bull cult at its heart. This has led some to theorize that the labyrinth was not merely a physical structure, but a profound ritualistic space where elaborate bull-leaping ceremonies or other sacred rites took place, perhaps even involving sacrifices, though definitive archaeological evidence of human sacrifice directly linked to the Minotaur myth has yet to be unearthed at Knossos. The very concept of a maze, in this context, could symbolically represent an arduous initiation journey or the necessary disorientation required for a profound spiritual transformation. A more literal, albeit less supported, interpretation suggests that a specific, concealed part of the palace might have indeed been designated to hold captives or sacrificial victims, thereby fueling the terrifying myth of the Minotaur's prison. However, solid archaeological evidence for such a dedicated prison maze remains elusive. Intriguing research has even explored the acoustic properties of certain chambers within the palace, positing that their unique designs might have amplified sounds, potentially creating an unsettling or awe-inspiring auditory experience for those inside, thereby contributing to the idea of a roaring presence, much like the mythical beast. Furthermore, the advanced plumbing and drainage systems uncovered at Knossos, including surprisingly modern flush toilets and elaborate water channels, unequivocally demonstrate a sophisticated understanding of hydraulics, a technological mastery often overlooked. This hidden technological prowess within the palace itself could have contributed to its legendary impossibility and awe-inspiring nature for later, less technologically advanced cultures. Despite decades of excavation, many questions about Knossos and the Minoan civilization remain. What was the exact nature of their religion? What do the undeciphered Linear A texts truly say? What caused the eventual collapse of the Minoan civilization around the years 1450 BCE, volcanic eruption on Thera, Mycenaean invasion, or internal strife? The Labyrinth of Knossos stands as a powerful testament to the intertwining of myth and history, a vibrant, ancient culture that, despite its advancements, remains shrouded in enigma, forever echoing with the legendary roar of a beast and the whispers of ancient secrets. The Georgia Guidestones, America's Stonehenge, erected in the years 1980 in Elbert County, Georgia, stand 5 massive granite slabs, arranged like a modern Stonehenge. Inscribed with 10 cryptic guidelines for humanity's future in 8 different languages, these are the Georgia Guidestones. Commissioned by an anonymous individual or group under the pseudonym R.C. Christian, this monument has been a source of intense fascination, speculation, and controversy for decades. Was it a guide for a future enlightened society, a doomsday prophecy, or a chilling blueprint for a new world order? The truth, like its creators, remains shrouded in profound secrecy. In June of the year 1979, a well-dressed man using the pseudonym R.C. Christian approached Elberton Granite Finishing Company, requesting a monumental structure that could serve as a message to humanity. He explained that the monument needed to be able to withstand catastrophic events and convey a message of global survival. The owner, Joe Fendley, initially skeptical, was eventually convinced by Christian's seriousness and detailed plans. The monument was completed and unveiled in March of the years 1980. It consists of 4 large granite slabs supporting a central capstone, with an additional stone tablet set in the ground. The structure is astronomically aligned, with features allowing it to track the solstices and equinoxes, and a central hole drilled through the capstone that aligns with Polaris, the North Star. The 10 guidelines, or commandments, are inscribed in 8 modern languages: English, Spanish, Swahili, Hindi, Hebrew, Arabic, Chinese, and Russian. A shorter message is also inscribed on the capstone in 4 ancient languages: Babylonian cuneiform, Classical Greek, Sanskrit, and ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs. The central paradox of the Georgia Guidestones is the anonymity of its creators and the profound, yet unsettling, nature of its message. Who was R.C. Christian, and what organization did he represent? His identity has been meticulously guarded, despite numerous investigations. The 10 guidelines themselves are equally enigmatic. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Unite humanity with a living new language. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Balance personal rights with social duties. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Be not a cancer on the earth, leave room for nature, leave room for nature. These messages, while seemingly aspirational, contain elements that alarm some critics, particularly the first guideline advocating a drastic population reduction. This has fueled fears of a new world order agenda, eugenics, or even a call for a global catastrophe. The combination of astronomical precision, multiple languages, and a mysterious patron creates an aura of profound, yet unsettling, purpose. The cryptic messages etched into the Georgia Guidestones have sparked a furious ideological battle, giving rise to a diverse array of competing theories that reflect humanity's deepest hopes and fears. One perspective champions the Guidestones as a benevolent blueprint for post-apocalyptic survival, offering profound, wise counsel for humanity to rebuild and thrive after a catastrophic event, ensuring long-term survival and harmony with nature. From this viewpoint, the seemingly drastic population guideline is interpreted not as a sinister edict, but as a necessary and pragmatic measure for the ultimate sustainability of our fragile planet. However, a far more chilling interpretation emanates from the fervent circles of religious and conspiracy theorists who perceive the Guidestones as a sinister message from a shadowy secret society, perhaps the Rosicrucians or the Illuminati, advocating a pagan, elitist, and undeniably totalitarian agenda. They relentlessly point to the impenetrable anonymity of the patron, the unsettling emphasis on population control, and the call for a living new language as compelling evidence of a globalist plot, a hidden hand guiding humanity towards a predetermined dystopian future. Furthermore, the precise astronomical alignments, rather than being seen as scientific marvels, are darkly reinterpreted as veiled references to ancient occult practices. A more grounded, yet still intriguing, theory proposes the Guidestones are simply a monumental art project or a grand, philanthropic statement conceived by a wealthy individual or group, seeking to leave a lasting, philosophical legacy for humanity, perhaps as a silent, enduring testament to their ideals. Still, others believe the inscriptions offer a practical guide for governing a future world, promoting principles of environmentalism, rationality, and a global governance structure, hinting at a utopian, or perhaps dystopian, vision of a unified humanity. The identity of R.C. Christian, widely believed to be a pseudonym for Rosicrucian Christian, remains the greatest unanswered question, a tantalizing enigma at the heart of the monument. Despite countless theories and relentless investigations, no definitive proof of his identity or the true nature of the sponsoring group has ever emerged. The Guidestones themselves were tragically partially destroyed by an explosion in July of the year 2022 and subsequently fully dismantled by authorities, adding another layer of mystery and controversy to their already enigmatic history. Their legacy is one of profound division, a symbol of the ideological battles shaping humanity's future, and a permanent reminder of the power of anonymous messages etched in stone to stir both hope and fear. The Yonaguni Monument, Japan's Atlantis. Beneath the turbulent waters off the coast of Yonaguni Island, Japan, lies a colossal underwater structure, a series of enormous, angular stone formations that seem impossibly symmetrical. With flat terraces, sharp corners, and straight edges, it looks eerily like a submerged pyramid or a grand ancient city swallowed by the sea. This is the Yonaguni Monument, a geological anomaly that has ignited a heated debate. Is it a natural rock formation carved by millennia of ocean currents, or a haunting testament to a lost civilization, an ancient Japanese Atlantis? The structure was first brought to wider attention in the year 1986 by a local diver, Kihachiro Aratake, who is exploring the waters off Yonaguni, the southernmost island of Japan. What he found was astonishing: a massive, stepped monolith rising from the seabed, with what appeared to be carved features. Subsequent dives by marine geologists, particularly Professor Masaaki Kimura from the University of the Ryukyus, intensified the mystery. Kimura has spent decades studying the site, claiming it is an artificial structure, a monumental example of ancient architecture submerged by rising sea levels or seismic activity thousands of years ago. The central enigma of the Yonaguni Monument lies in its unnervingly precise geometry. While natural processes can create surprisingly regular shapes, the Yonaguni Formation exhibits features that defy easy geological explanation. Flat, broad platforms and terraces, appearing almost perfectly level. Sharp, rectilinear edges and 90-degree angles, rare in natural rock formations. Parallel straight lines, running for considerable distances. What appear to be steps or staircases, ascending the structure. Circular depressions and carved channels, resembling drainage systems or ceremonial basins. If it is artificial, it would have been built at a time when humans were still in the Stone Age, roughly 10,000 years ago, placing it as one of the oldest and most complex megalithic structures on Earth, predating the Egyptian pyramids by thousands of years. The paradox is the sheer scale and apparent sophistication of engineering for a period where such capabilities were thought impossible. The colossal underwater formations off Yonaguni have spawned a heated intellectual battle, with compelling arguments from both sides vying to define their true nature. The vast majority of mainstream geologists and archaeologists firmly adhere to the belief that the Yonaguni Monument is a natural geological formation. They meticulously explain its unusual shapes as the undeniable result of relentless natural erosion by powerful ocean currents and the subtle, yet potent, seismic activity acting upon a substratum of sandstone and siltstone, which inherently tends to fracture along straight lines. Proponents of this view point to analogous natural formations found elsewhere in the world as supporting evidence. They argue that while some features undeniably appear artificial, this is merely a case of pareidolia, our innate human tendency to impose familiar patterns onto random shapes, much like seeing faces in clouds. Crucially, they emphasize that despite extensive exploration, no tools, artifacts, or definitive human remains have ever been discovered on or near the structure that would unequivocally prove human involvement in its creation. Yet, standing in staunch opposition is Professor Masaaki Kimura, a distinguished marine geologist who vehemently champions the monument's artificial origin. He meticulously points to the unnervingly sharp angles, the distinct drainage channels, the apparent steps, and what he interprets as explicit carvings of animals and human faces within the rock itself as irrefutable evidence of ancient craftsmanship. Kimura passionately believes it was meticulously constructed by a sophisticated prehistoric civilization, possibly linked to Jomon-era Japan during the last ice age, a period when sea levels were dramatically lower, placing the entire structure above water. He further suggests that its eventual submersion was a tragic consequence of a combination of rising sea levels and devastating major earthquakes. A more conciliatory, yet still intriguing theory, proposes a compromise. Perhaps it began as a natural rock formation that was later modified or enhanced by early humans. This would elegantly explain some of the more natural features, while simultaneously accounting for the seemingly artificial elements that spark so much debate. And for the truly adventurous minds, more speculative theories tantalizingly link the Yonaguni Monument to the mythical lost continent of Mu or other advanced ancient civilizations, drawing compelling parallels to Plato's legendary Atlantis. The debate over the Yonaguni Monument remains unresolved. Without definitive archaeological evidence like tools or inscriptions, its true nature remains a captivating enigma. If it is natural, it is an astonishing testament to the power of geological processes to mimic human design. If it is artificial, it radically rewrites the timeline of human civilization and pushes the boundaries of our understanding of prehistoric capabilities. Its legacy is a profound challenge to our interpretations of ancient history and a constant source of wonder, inviting us to gaze into the depths and question what else might lie hidden beneath the waves. The Saqqara bird, ancient glider or ceremonial toy. From the dusty depths of an ancient Egyptian tomb, a small wooden artifact emerged that has baffled Egyptologists and inspired aviation enthusiasts for over a century. Known as the Saqqara bird, this unassuming object, dating back to the year 200 BCE, appears to be a sophisticated model of an aircraft, complete with an airfoil wing and a vertical stabilizer. Was it merely a ceremonial toy, a weather vane, or a chilling piece of evidence suggesting that the ancient Egyptians possessed a knowledge of aerodynamics far beyond what we imagine. The Saqqara bird was discovered in 1898 during the excavation of the tomb of Padi Emin in Saqqara, Egypt. The tomb dates to the late dynastic or Ptolemaic period, around the year 200 BCE. The artifact is a bird-like figure carved from sycamore wood, measuring approximately 18 centimeters, 7.1 inches, in length, with a wingspan of about 18 centimeters. It weighs about 39 grams, 1.4 ounces. Upon its discovery, it was simply catalogued as a bird object or ceremonial artifact and placed in the Egyptian Museum in Cairo, where it remained largely unnoticed for decades. The paradox of the Saqqara bird lies in its strikingly unbird-like wing structure and its apparent aerodynamic qualities. Unlike other bird representations from ancient Egypt, which typically show flat, broad wings like those of a falcon, the Saqqara bird has rigid, straight wings that angle downwards slightly, resembling an airfoil used for lift in modern gliders. Furthermore, it possesses a vertical tail fin, which is crucial for stability and directional control in flight, a feature not typically found in natural birds. This led Dr. Khalil Masiha, an Egyptian physician and archaeologist, to propose in the year 1970s that the Saqqara bird was not a toy or a simple artistic representation, but a model of an ancient glider or aircraft. He noted that if a horizontal stabilizer were added to the tail, which might have been missing or broken off, the model could potentially achieve stable gliding flight. The enigma is, if the Egyptians had such knowledge, why is there no other evidence of actual flying machines, or even extensive documentation of aerodynamic principles? The diminutive Saqqara bird, with its tantalizingly unbird-like features, has become a focal point for two starkly contrasting interpretations, each seeking to unravel its true purpose. The traditional Egyptological interpretation, steeped in the accepted understanding of ancient Egyptian culture, firmly views the bird as a ceremonial or religious object. From this perspective, the artifact is seen as a representation of a falcon, a sacred bird embodying deities like Horus, and was likely intended as a funerary offering to aid the deceased in the afterlife, or perhaps even as a wind vane adorning a boat. Its shape and material are entirely consistent with other tomb artifacts unearthed from that period, reinforcing this traditional view. The pervasive absence of any documented Egyptian aerial technology or detailed aerodynamic treatises strongly supports this interpretation, suggesting that the concept of flight, beyond the symbolic, was alien to their practical understanding. However, a more audacious and captivating theory, championed by proponents like Dr. Khalil Masiha and a cadre of modern aviation enthusiasts, postulates that the Saqqara bird is, in fact, an aerodynamic model, a chilling testament to a lost ancient technology. They meticulously point to its specific design features: the distinctive airfoil wing, subtly angled downwards for lift, and the crucial vertical tail fin, essential for stability and directional control in flight, as undeniable indicators of a sophisticated understanding of aerodynamics. This school of thought suggests that the ancient Egyptians, perhaps through empirical experimentation, may have explored the principles of gliding models or even constructed full-sized gliders, knowledge of which was either deliberately concealed or simply vanished from history's embrace. Experiments with meticulously crafted replicas have shown that while the model is unstable without a horizontal stabilizer, its addition allows it to achieve stable gliding flight, lending a tantalizing, if circumstantial, credence to this theory. Yet, critics of this view are quick to counter, asserting that the aerodynamic features could be entirely accidental or coincidental, mere chance occurrences in its design. They argue that without larger examples of flying machines or detailed engineering plans, the lost technology theory remains purely conjecture, however captivating it may be. Other, less dramatic interpretations suggest the bird might have been a sophisticated wind vane, designed to pivot in the breeze, perhaps even mounted on a boat. And given its size and material, the simplest explanation might be that it was merely a child's toy, a plaything from a bygone era. Was the Saqqara bird a tantalizing glimpse into a lost chapter of ancient aviation, or simply a misidentified ceremonial object? The lack of larger-scale flying machines or comprehensive texts on aerodynamics leaves the mystery stubbornly unresolved. Its legacy is a persistent challenge to our assumptions about the technological limits of ancient civilizations, inspiring both scientific skepticism and the awe-inspiring thought that our ancestors might have dreamed of, and perhaps even achieved, flight long before the Wright brothers. The Ark of the Covenant, the divine disappearance. At the heart of Abrahamic faiths lies a sacred artifact of immense power and mystery, the Ark of the Covenant, described in the Bible as a golden-covered wooden chest containing the stone tablets of the Ten Commandments. It was the most holy object of ancient Israel, believed to be the literal dwelling place of God's presence on earth. It led armies to victory, leveled city walls, and struck down those who dared touch it. But then, it vanished. After being housed in King Solomon's temple, the Ark disappears from historical record, leaving behind a void filled with tantalizing legends, fervent quests, and an enduring question: where is the Ark of the Covenant, and what divine power does it still hold? According to the Book of Exodus, the Ark of the Covenant was constructed at God's command to Moses on Mount Sinai, crafted from acacia wood, overlaid with pure gold, and topped with 2 cherubim facing each other over the mercy seat. It served as a portable sanctuary for God's presence during the Israelites' wanderings in the wilderness. Upon entering Canaan, it played a crucial role in biblical narratives, such as the crossing of the Jordan River and the Battle of Jericho. It was eventually brought to Jerusalem by King David and later housed in the first temple built by King Solomon. The Ark is last reliably mentioned in the Bible in the Book of Chronicles, at the time of King Josiah, around the year 622 BCE, when it was returned to the temple. After this, its fate becomes a profound mystery. The central enigma of the Ark of the Covenant is its complete and unexplained disappearance from historical and biblical records after the Babylonian conquest of Jerusalem in the year 586 BCE. For an object of such immense religious and political significance, an artifact described as having supernatural powers, its vanishing act is profoundly perplexing. Why would such a sacred treasure simply vanish without a trace? Was it destroyed, captured, or perhaps hidden away by divine intervention? Furthermore, the very nature of its described powers, incapacitating armies, causing plagues, and even death to those who mishandled it, adds to its terrifying mystique and the challenge of its discovery. The vanishing of the Ark of the Covenant, an object of unparalleled sanctity and power, has given birth to countless theories, ranging from meticulous archaeological hypotheses to the most fervent and wild speculation, all striving to pinpoint its current whereabouts. The most straightforward, yet unsettling, explanation posits that the Ark was either utterly destroyed or carried off as spoils of war when the Babylonians brutally sacked Jerusalem and razed Solomon's temple in the year 586 BCE. However, a peculiar and unsettling detail complicates this simple narrative. Unlike other temple treasures, the Ark is conspicuously absent from the detailed lists of items explicitly mentioned as being looted by the Babylonians. This glaring omission lends weight to alternative scenarios. Some biblical scholars and ancient Jewish traditions whisper of a clandestine mission by righteous priests who, foreseeing the impending invasion, secretly spirited the Ark away to protect it from desecration. Various proposed hiding places emerge from these whispered tales, including hidden chambers deep beneath the Temple Mount itself, or a labyrinthine network of secret tunnels. Yet, the most persistent and globally renowned claim emanates from the distant highlands of Ethiopia. The Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church steadfastly believes that the Ark of the Covenant resides within the sacred confines of the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion in Aksum, Ethiopia. According to their deeply held tradition, it was brought there by Menelik I, the son of the legendary King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. The Ark is held under constant, unwavering guard by a specially chosen monk, a solitary figure who is forbidden from ever leaving the hallowed chapel or allowing anyone else, save for himself, to behold its divine presence. While this is a belief held with profound conviction, it remains tantalizingly beyond independent verification, as no one outside this sacred guardian is ever permitted to view the artifact. Historical fiction and fervent conspiracy theories weave another intricate tapestry, suggesting that the enigmatic Knights Templar, during their Crusader-era presence in Jerusalem, discovered the Ark hidden beneath the Temple Mount and clandestinely transported it to Europe, perhaps to the ancient lands of France, or even to their own secret strongholds. However, such a dramatic narrative remains unsupported by concrete historical evidence. Many religious believers, embracing the very essence of faith, simply accept that the Ark was supernaturally removed or divinely concealed by God Himself, its earthly purpose fulfilled, or perhaps humanity deemed no longer worthy of its awe-inspiring presence. Finally, some scholars, taking a more symbolic approach, argue that the Ark's supernatural powers, and possibly its very physical existence, were more legendary than literal, serving as a powerful, metaphorical representation of God's presence, rather than a tangible object with inherent magical capabilities. Where is the Ark of the Covenant? Does it still exist? Perhaps hidden in a secret chamber? Or guarded in a remote monastery? If it were ever found, what would its discovery mean for religious belief, geopolitics, and our understanding of ancient power? The Ark of the Covenant remains one of the most enduring religious and historical mysteries. Its elusive nature, a constant source of spiritual quest and archaeological intrigue. Its legacy is a testament to the enduring power of faith, the allure of divine objects, and the profound questions that linger when history chooses to draw a veil. The Phaistos Disc, Crete's unreadable message. Thousands of years ago, as the first civilizations began to record their own histories, a mysterious artifact was created on the island of Crete. It is a clay disc covered in symbols that to this day no one has been able to read. This artifact is called the Phaistos Disc, and it is considered one of the greatest enigmas of the ancient world. It is a solitary message, a lost language, screaming for translation from across the millennia, yet remaining stubbornly silent. The story of the Phaistos Disc begins in the year 1908, when a team of Italian archaeologists, led by Luigi Pernier, were excavating the palace of the Minoans at Phaistos, a major center of Minoan civilization on Crete. Amid the ruins of a once glorious civilization, they uncovered a small clay disc, only about 16 centimeters, 6.3 inches, in diameter. At first, it seemed unremarkable, but upon closer inspection, archaeologists noticed something strange. Both sides of the disc were completely covered in mysterious symbols arranged in a continuous spiral. In total, there are 241 symbols, with 45 different characters, some depicting humans, animals, and even objects that defy identification. These symbols do not resemble any known writing system previously used by the Minoans. What makes the Phaistos disc even more mysterious is its age. Scientists have dated the disc to around the 17th century BCE, Middle Minoan II period, right at the height of Minoan civilization. At that point in time, writing itself was still a relatively new invention, and yet the symbols on the disc are far more complex than anything previously known. Even more remarkable, the symbols were not carved by hand, but stamped with seals, an early printing technique never before seen in that era. How could an ancient civilization create such a sophisticated artifact? And why has no other disc like it ever been found? The central paradox of the Phaistos disc is its unique and isolated nature. It's the only one of its kind. If it represents a writing system, why is there no other evidence of this system on Crete or anywhere else? This hapax legomenon, something occurring only once, makes decipherment incredibly difficult, as there are no comparative texts. Furthermore, the stamping technique is revolutionary for the Bronze Age, suggesting a level of mass production capability that seems out of place. The symbols themselves, while clearly pictorial, resist easy categorization or connection to known Minoan scripts like Linear A or Linear B. Its purpose, therefore, is as enigmatic as its script. For more than a century, generations of scholars have relentlessly endeavored to crack the inscrutable code of the Phaistos disc, yet all their formidable efforts have led to frustrating dead ends. Linguists, with their profound understanding of ancient tongues, have exhaustively compared its enigmatic symbols to every conceivable ancient writing system, from the majestic Greek to the intricate Hittite scripts and countless others, only to find no definitive matches. Cryptographers, with their keen eye for patterns and repetitions, have meticulously analyzed the frequency and recurrence of the symbols, yet nothing discernible has emerged from their exhaustive efforts. Even the cutting edge of modern computer technology has been brought to bear on this ancient puzzle, yet the disc stubbornly continues to guard its profound secrets. The symbols, though clearly following some underlying order, stubbornly refused to conform to the established grammar or structural patterns of any known language, making them frustratingly elusive. It is as if we are confronting a puzzle specifically designed never to be solved, an ancient challenge for eternity. Shifting gears, some researchers propose that the disc might be a sacred religious text, or a deeply personal prayer from the Minoans. Images such as the striking head of a man wearing a feathered headdress have led many to perceive a rich vein of sacred symbolism woven into its very fabric. Yet, if this truly is a religious document, the perplexing question remains: why is it so utterly distinct from all other known Minoan writing systems, standing as an isolated anomaly? Other theories, more pragmatic in their approach, suggest the disc could be a sophisticated astronomical calendar, its symbols perhaps representing constellations, or charting vital agricultural cycles, or even serving as an elaborate game board. However, to this day, no solid evidence has emerged to definitively support any of these intriguing theories. A more cynical perspective has surfaced from some critics, positing that the Phaistos disc might, in fact, be an elaborate 20th century hoax, a brilliant piece of archaeological deception. However, this notion is largely deemed unlikely, as the age of the clay itself has been rigorously and scientifically verified, placing it firmly in antiquity. Moreover, the intricate complexity required to create such a sophisticated system of symbols would demand a profound understanding of Minoan culture, a feat exceedingly difficult to achieve if the sole intent was simply to fool the world. If it truly were a fake, why has no one ever found conclusive proof of its deception? Perhaps, in a final, more understated explanation, the disc served a very specific, limited purpose, such as a land deed or a dedication, never intended for widespread use or replication. The Phaistos disc continues to fascinate the curious and draw researchers from all over the world. Every year, new scholars attempt to unlock its secrets, yet no one has come any closer to an answer. Is it a lost language, a secret code, or simply a piece of ancient art? Perhaps it is the mystery itself that makes the Phaistos disc so captivating, a constant reminder that the past is still filled with secrets waiting to be discovered, and that some messages, no matter how clearly intended, may remain eternally unreadable. The Baghdad Battery, ancient power source. In the obscure archives of Baghdad, a peculiar artifact discovered in the year 1938 ignited a controversy that continues to spark debate among archaeologists and electrical engineers alike. This is the Baghdad Battery, a small clay jar containing an iron rod and a copper cylinder, which some believe was an ancient electrochemical cell, capable of generating electricity nearly 2,000 years before Alessandro Volta's experiments. If true, it would fundamentally rewrite our understanding of ancient technology, suggesting a lost knowledge of electricity in ancient Mesopotamia. Was it an ancient battery, a forgotten power source, or merely a container for scrolls? The artifact was found during the excavation of a Parthian village, dating to between the year 250 BCE and the year 224 CE, near Kujut Rabu, outside Baghdad, Iraq. Wilhelm Koenig, the German archaeologist who rediscovered the object in the Baghdad Museum, where it had been sitting for years, identified it as a potential galvanic cell. The battery consists of a 13-centimeter, 5.1 inches, tall clay jar, inside which a copper cylinder was held in place by asphalt. An iron rod was suspended in the center of the copper cylinder, without touching it. It seemed designed to hold an electrolyte liquid, like vinegar or fruit juice, to create an electrical current. The paradox of the Baghdad Battery is its apparent function as an electrical device in an era when electricity was theoretically unknown. If it was indeed a battery, it implies that ancient peoples possessed a knowledge of electrochemistry that was not rediscovered until the late 18th century. What would they have used this electricity for? There are no widespread records or evidence of ancient electrical lighting, machinery, or sophisticated power grids in Mesopotamia. This makes the Baghdad Battery an out-of-place artifact, UPART, challenging the linear progression of technological development. The unassuming Baghdad Battery has ignited a fierce intellectual current, giving rise to compelling, yet often contradictory theories that seek to unravel its true purpose. Wilhelm Koenig, the German archaeologist who first identified its potential, along with later proponents like Arne Eggebrecht, a visionary who successfully built and demonstrated a working replica, passionately argue that the Baghdad battery was indeed an electrochemical cell, a true ancient power source. Eggebrecht famously used his replicas to electroplate a silver statuette, a stunning demonstration that suggested the ancient Egyptians or Mesopotamians might have employed such batteries for the intricate process of electroplating gold onto silver or other metals. Such applications could have adorned cultic objects, exquisite jewelry, or perhaps even served a therapeutic purpose as mild pain relievers. The fascinating presence of tiny, thinly gold-plated objects discovered in various ancient Mesopotamian and Egyptian contexts lends a tantalizing, albeit circumstantial, thread of support to this electrifying theory. However, the most prevalent skeptical view firmly asserts that the object was merely a utilitarian storage vessel, meticulously crafted to contain sacred scrolls or fragile documents, possibly made of papyrus, which would have long since decomposed, leaving behind only the enduring copper and iron remnants. In this interpretation, the asphalt seal, rather than being an electrical insulator, would have served a more mundane purpose of preservation, protecting its precious contents. The profound lack of any other clearly discernible electrical devices or widespread evidence of sophisticated electroplating technology throughout the ancient world significantly undermines the battery theory, presenting a formidable challenge to its proponents. A less common, yet intriguing theory posits that the artifact might have served a medical or therapeutic purpose, capable of generating mild electric shocks for pain, relief, or various forms of therapy, much akin to ancient applications of electric fish in medicinal practices. Still, others propose a more mystical explanation, suggesting it was used in a religious context for some unknown ritual, perhaps inducing a mild electric shock as a divine touch, a connection to the sacred. While replicas can indeed generate a small voltage, typically ranging from 0.5 to 1.5 volts with common electrolytes, definitive proof of its intended purpose remains elusive. Were there more such batteries? What precise electrolyte would have been used to power them? And why did this knowledge, if it truly existed, seemingly vanish from the annals of history? The Baghdad battery remains a captivating archaeological enigma. Its legacy is a persistent challenge to our understanding of ancient capabilities, forcing us to consider that, perhaps, in the hidden corners of history, our ancestors possessed scientific knowledge that we are only now beginning to rediscover. The cryptic carvings, the Glozell tablets. In a quiet French village, a young farmer made a discovery that would ignite one of the most ferocious academic battles in archaeological history. This is Glozell, a site where thousands of mysterious clay tablets, inscribed with a seemingly unknown script and peculiar animal figures, emerged from the earth. Are they genuine relics of a forgotten, prehistoric European culture, hinting at an unknown script from the Stone Age, or one of the most elaborate archaeological hoaxes of all time? The controversy rages, leaving behind a profound enigma etched in clay. The story of Glozell began in the year 1924, when teenager Émile Fradin, while plowing a field on his family's farm in Glozell, near Vichy, France, discovered a subterranean chamber containing clay tablets, bone fragments, stone tools, and ceramic vessels. Over the next few years, further excavations by Fradin, often amateurishly, and later by French physician Dr. Antonin Morlet, yielded thousands of artifacts. The most sensational were the clay tablets, typically rectangular or oval, inscribed with a unique, seemingly alphabetical script, unlike any other known ancient writing system, alongside crude but intriguing animal and human figures. Morlet, enthusiastic about the find, claimed it was a significant Neolithic, New Stone Age site, suggesting the tablets represented an early form of writing in Europe, perhaps even preceding Phoenician script. The central paradox of the Glozell tablets is their incredible age claim, some propose Neolithic, combined with the sophistication of a phonetic-looking alphabet and the unique blend of artifacts. If truly Neolithic, they would represent the oldest known writing system by thousands of years, fundamentally rewriting the history of literacy and civilization, which is generally accepted to have originated in Mesopotamia. Furthermore, the site yielded a peculiar mix of artifacts from different periods, what appeared to be Stone Age tools alongside Roman-era glass and other anachronistic items. This mix, and the amateurish excavation methods, immediately raised red flags for many archaeologists. The uniqueness of the script, with no clear parallels to known systems, further deepened the mystery and the skepticism. The cryptic carvings of Glozell have plunged the archaeological world into a century-long academic battle, with two diametrically opposed camps fiercely defending their interpretations. On one side stand the passionate proponents, including Dr. Morlet himself and later some linguists, who steadfastly argue that Glozell is a genuine Neolithic or early Bronze Age site, and that the tablets represent an independent, astonishing invention of writing in prehistoric Europe, a true paradigm shift in our understanding of literacy. They meticulously point to intriguing resemblances between some Glozell signs and later Mediterranean alphabets, hinting at a plausible evolutionary link. Furthermore, certain stylistic similarities to the ancient Magdalenian cave art have also been carefully noted, suggesting a deep-rooted cultural connection. Compellingly, carbon dating of some organic materials recovered from the site has yielded various dates, including tantalizingly ancient ones, lending a whisper of credibility to the great antiquity of the finds. However, confronting this optimistic view is the overwhelming majority of mainstream archaeologists and epigraphers, who staunchly consider Glozell to be an elaborate, masterfully crafted hoax. Their arguments are formidable. Microscopic analysis of the inscriptions has often revealed telltale tool marks inconsistent with primitive Stone Age implements, subtly betraying the use of more modern tools. The glaring presence of anachronisms, a perplexing mix of artifacts from vastly disparate time periods, often found intermingled, is deemed highly suspicious and a strong indicator of manipulation. Moreover, the early uncontrolled excavations conducted by Freyden and others likely led to significant contamination of the site with modern materials, further muddying the waters of authenticity. Linguists, analyzing the script itself, have found profound inconsistencies, deeming it too simple in some aspects, yet oddly too complex in others, to represent a naturally evolving ancient language. Furthermore, its irregular nature strongly argues against it being a proper phonetic system. Critically, the symbols often bear a superficial resemblance to various known scripts, leading many skeptics to believe they were cleverly cobbled together to appear ancient, designed to deceive the unwary eye. As for motivations, the Freyden family might have orchestrated the hoax for financial gain or notoriety, or perhaps they were unwitting pawns manipulated by more cunning individuals seeking to create an archaeological sensation. A variant of the hoax theory suggests a more nuanced deception. While some genuinely ancient objects might have existed at the site, the sensational tablets and other headline-grabbing finds were likely modern additions, strategically planted to bolster the illusion. Despite multiple international commissions and countless academic papers, the Glozell debate has never been fully resolved to everyone's satisfaction. While mainstream archaeology has largely dismissed it as a hoax, proponents continue to argue for its authenticity. The mystery remains. Was Glozell a genuine prehistoric breakthrough, a testament to an unknown literate culture in ancient Europe? Or was it a masterful deception, a testament to human ingenuity in crafting a convincing archaeological fake? Its legacy is a cautionary tale in the world of archaeology, illustrating the challenges of authenticating unique finds and the intense passions that can ignite when scientific consensus clashes with extraordinary claims. From the impossible precision of ancient engineers to the haunting secrets of vanished prisoners, from the unreadable messages of lost civilizations to the profound enigmas of Earth's deep past, these mysteries continue to haunt our collective consciousness. They are the cracks in our historical narrative, the whispers that remind us how much we still don't know, and how truly awe-inspiring the tapestry of human existence and the world itself truly is. If these journeys into the unknown have left you questioning, wondering, and hungry for more, then know that the universe of the unexplained is vast and boundless. Join our growing community of truth seekers. Share your own theories, your own burning questions, and the mysteries that keep you awake at night in the comments below. And remember, the pursuit of knowledge, the quest for understanding the unseen, is a journey we embark on together. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next descent into the truly mind-bending. See you on the next adventure, where more secrets await to be unveiled.